I think this could be, judging based on the chatter, the buzz, the most popular pick, the fan favorite, the guy who might sell the most jerseys, who might be like Jeremy Shockey 2.0, Cam Skattebo in the 4th round from Arizona State, the Sun Devil. I kind of fell in love with this dude watching the Peach Bowl, watching him take over the game against Texas. Running the ball, throwing the ball, catching the ball, refusing to go down. He's a violent runner, had more than 1,700 rushing yards and 20-plus touchdowns in 2024. He's been described as a true workhorse with massive explosive power. For God's sakes, there was a clip of his mom talking about when Cam was a kid, he would take his brother's shoulder pads and go outside and run into telephone poles. Like, this guy is awesome. I freaking love him. And yeah, he doesn't have like tremendous height, but I love that he's low to the ground. He's stout. I had talked about him back in February and how he's kind of like beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. And someone else had commented that he reminds them of Joe Morris. Joe Morris was much smaller, 5'6", 180 something, but short, stout, low to the ground, hard to tackle. People are criticizing his speed. I'm sure there's going to be a time or two or a handful of times where he gets to the next level and can't outrun the defenders and gets tackled. And it would have been a touchdown if it's Saquon. But because it's Cam, we don't get the touchdown. I'm willing to risk that and sacrifice that to have a guy that is tough as nails, as Brian Daboll said, and sets the tone of physicality. That was the quote from Daboll. I like how he got emotional when the Giants drafted him. He said he felt at ease with the Giants. I can easily see him having the same impact and effect that Jeremy Shockey had in 2002 when we drafted him. I can see him in the Hall of Fame preseason game running over a guy, trucking a guy, and losing his helmet and coming up and being fired up. Like, that same kind of energy is what Cam Skattebo has. Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football is like completely infatuated and enamored with Cam Skattebo, and I'm there. I think I'm there. I didn't think we were going to draft him because it didn't, like, running back's not really a need. It's like we got Tyrone Tracy. We all have pretty much agreed that he's like can be the guy. He can be the guy that he showed that he has playmaking ability and that he can be a franchise running back. Is he at the same level as Saquon? No. But we have motor as a nice change of pace. And it's like from there, it's like, well, you have Turbo, Dante Miller, and you have Eric Gray. And none of them are really. But with Cam Skattebo, I think he, maybe not at the beginning of the season, but he's going to be the number 2, if not the number 1 running back by the end of the season, definitely in 2026. It just feels like it's a great 1-2 punch. A lot of people posting like this feels like Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. Not so much Tiki and Ron Dane because that was, it did not live up to the billing. But I really like that 1-2 punch. You now don't have to lean too heavily on Tyrone Tracy Jr. People have criticized Cam for not being able to catch the ball, and I disagree. I think that he can catch the ball, and I think that he can be most importantly, and I commented on this. Someone left a reply commenting about his speed. It's just like, dude, like no one's perfect. You can't be everything. We had a guy that was everything, and we let him go. So I'm very excited in particular about short yardage and goal line. The age of field goals when we're inside the 10 is over. Dunzo. Put a nail in that coffin. Done. We have, our red zone woes are over. And I know people are clipping this and sending it to freezing cold takes. Go for it. The red zone woes are over. The fact that we have Cam Skattebo, dunzo. That guy has a nose for the end zone. Will he get in every time? Nay. But the probability goes up, skyrockets with him in the backfield. The fact that he just does not want to go down, hard to tackle. I mean, and you could see it in his highlight tapes. He's getting crushed and cracked from all angles, and it doesn't matter. Weebles wobble, they do not fall down. This guy is a friggin' human real life, human sized weeble wobble. And he hasn't played a single snap. He hasn't even signed yet officially. I don't even know what his freaking number is going to be because he can't be number 4. People want him to be 44. I don't hate it. I know Bradshaw had that, and there's, but maybe it's that does feel like something you can pass the torch, and that I don't mind that. Maurice Carthon was 44. Ahmad's 44. It's a nice little lineage you got going there. It just, he makes the offense better. When we talk about the draft, it feels like for a long time the draft was always like position of need, position of need, position of need. And now we're at the point where it's like we are drafting the best player available, not just overall, right, on the big board for everyone, but for us in particular. Like this is, we have Tyrone Tracy Jr., but Cam Skattebo gives you something different that rounds out the running back room, that makes it better. Just make the roster better, right? It's not like, oh, we're plugging him day one, but it's someone that it's just like, it makes you that much better, right? And if you do that across 7 picks, oh, look at you. You're 7 to 10% better. And if we were 7 to 10% better last year, maybe we don't go 3-14. We don't need to talk about the 1-score games again, but 7 to 10% better each snap, each play, each game. Maybe that 1-score record is not 1-6, it's 6-1, and then look at you, you're in the playoffs. Hurrah. Cam Skattebo, dude. I would not be surprised if he'll probably be 3rd in jersey sales behind Dart and Abdul Carter, but it won't be by much. I think people really like him a lot. I know I like him a lot. You have people like Kyle Brandt. There aren't Giants fans that like him a lot. John Gruden likes him a lot. I mean, like, everyone likes him a lot. That is my sneaky favorite pick. When it first happened, I was like, oh man, we didn't need a running back, but I love that we did it. So Skattebo, 6.16 prospect grade, good backup with potential to develop into starter. Second best production score, according to Next Gen Stats. 16th in athleticism score. The relative athletic score on Skattebo is like 7 something, which is in the yellow. So for whatever reason, they're not thinking that he's that athletic, and I think it has to do with his speed. I don't think he ran a 40. Doesn't look like he ran a 40, but, I think he's been clocked at 4.7, something like that. But then again, Marshawn Lynch was clocked at 4.6, and he had a pretty good career. And his total score, draft score, according to Next Gen Stats, amongst running backs, placed him 2nd. I believe that's right behind Ashton Genty. So I think we got basically the 2nd best running back in this draft in the 4th round, which is awesome. Lance Zierlein compares Skattebo to Jaylen Warren. Here's one way to look at it. The Steelers thought so highly of Jaylen Warren that they let Najee Harris walk in free agency. The overview on Skattebo, he's a carnage creator with a compact frame and elite contact balance. Can break through second-level tacklers, careen off bodies, reads his blocks quickly, more elusive in the early stages of the run. Will have to contend with bigger, better tacklers on the next level. I'm not worried about that. Effectiveness as a receiver of the backfield. Physicality and edge should bode well for a complementary back with 3-down values, capable of helping on offense wear down the defense. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned short yardage and goal line. When we were winning in 2022, it was because we were tied or had the lead in the 4th quarter, and then we could just run Saquon, and he would wear down the defense. Wear down the defense, and then break it and seal the win. My crystal ball, I see Cam Skattebo doing the same thing. Which is not even a big if anymore, our defense can keep things competitive and can keep us in the lead. It's like if we can just get that lead entering the 4th quarter, we're going to get dubs. Built low to the ground, excellent footwork in tight quarters, makes sudden sharp alterations in the run lane, bursts into his top speed fairly quickly, either breaks defenders' tackle or makes them feel his force. Elite run extender, relying on outstanding leg drive and contact balance. Quick vertical transition from catch to run. Adds yards after contact. Yeah. And then, people are saying, like, he takes too many hits. They question his durability. I'll tell you this right now. If he can give us 5 years, great. I'm not looking for 10 years out of Cam Skattebo. If he can give us 5 really good quality years, Ring of Honor. That's the kind of player he is. I mean, you look at like the impact and the effect that Shockey had in his 5 years here. Weaknesses: must improve ball security. Yeah, That's tough, especially when Tracy has the ball security issues. Missing straight line speed to outrun pursuit. Yeah, we know. Limited catch radius. Okay, well, it kind of comes with the territory when you're 5'9". Look at Wandale Robinson. Needs a square rusher instead of seeking shoulder shots. Okay, I've seen him do that occasionally. Sources tell us. An AFC executive said, quote, "You hear guys say, I'm built different, but usually it's all talk. This guy really is built differently. He sees and plays the game like a linebacker." You pair that with Jackson Dart, who also plays the position like a linebacker. My mind goes immediately to Jim Kelly, who is often described as a linebacker playing quarterback. You now have a quarterback, a linebacker at quarterback, and a linebacker at running back. It feels good to say that. I don't know if it necessarily will translate to a lot of wins and a trophy, but it just will be fun to watch, dude. And that's all I want this year. Let's make it fun. Make it fun. Make it fun to watch. Make the Giants fun again. First team AP All-American, first team All-Big 12, ranked second in the FBS with a school record 1,700 rushing yards, 2,300 all-purpose yards, tied for sixth in the FBS with a school record 21 rushing touchdowns, and finished fifth in the voting for the Heisman Trophy. He also was a finalist for the Paul Hornung Award, awarding the nation's most versatile player in 2023. Honorable mention All Pac-12 in 2023. I think everyone loves that pick.